You know, so I'm sitting there. Did Livernois blow up my engine?
Off the Remy, had up at Boost. Had to hit my old town, looked up the news.
What's up, Dream Chasers? Kevin Van Voris here for another video for you guys today. So hopefully you're having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time you guys are watching this video. It's Tuesday. I'm getting pretty excited because I leave for my honeymoon on Friday and I'm going to the Bahamas. I've never been. I'm pretty excited. Rachel's never been, so we're gonna go for we're going during Christmas. So I've never been gone for a holiday, so I'm pretty stoked about it. But in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about not what the title is about, because obviously the title is clickbait. Duh! I wanted you to click on this video so I could give some advertising to Livernois, and I wanted to show you guys how badass Livernois Motorsports is and why you should use them. Now, I'm sorry about the clickbait. I am. But I really wanted to shed some light on Livernois Motorsports. And I wanted to go over with you guys about, you know, why I believe in them, why I took my car to them, and why I will continue to use them. So, as you guys know, currently I hold the Hellcat airbag quarter-mile record with a 974. And that's all Hellcats, Charger and Challengers. So it's a record that I'm very proud of because I think being on an airbag suspension, it's totally different from being on a strut suspension or coilovers. And anybody who's bagged their cars, SRT Mush, or anybody else out there understands that people hate on airbags. And I've had airbags on my car for, I think, 2 years, or almost 2 years. It was one of the first mods I did. I saw SRT Mush's and I think Dirty Chamba's on Instagram, and I was like, fuck, that looks so fucking good. And I actually think I hit up SRT Mush about it. I think I've known him for a little while. So let me turn on this air. It's fucking hot in here. But you know, a lot of people hate on it, and you guys can go to any comments on any car that, like, say you see a bagged Mustang or a bagged Hellcat or a bagged whatever. They're like, oh, you just ruined the drivability. Now it's fucking slow. You can't do that. So one goal that I had when I was looking for shops, I wanted reliability. I wanted to run a 9. And I wanted a shop that I could trust, that understood my goals and knew what I was looking for, basically. So I started the hunt. I looked up HHP. They have really good reviews, really good shop. They're in Delaware. Looked up Tim Barth. And you know what's funny? I'm going to get this off my chest now because David uses him and he's a fantastic tuner. And I'll tell you guys the number one reason I did not use him. You guys ready for this? I did not use him because at the time I was beefing with Family Cruising, and I was like, fuck that dude. I'm not using his same tuner. Fuck that guy. That's literally what I said. So Tim Barth was off my list, even though he was originally on the list. Livernois was recommended by actually a bunch of you guys. And Kyle, which is one of you guys, actually was the one who put me in contact with them first. I also reached out to a local company called TES Performance. They're in Lubbock, because I was like, well, it'd be nice to have a local company do it, just because, you know, in case something happened, right? You always got to kind of think about the future. In case something happened, ooh, nice new Hellcat. Shout out the squad. In case something happened, I wanted to be able to take my car there. Now, and again, this is before I really knew anything about Hellcat motors and how strong those son of a bitches are. Hellcat motors are extremely strong. You know, you don't have to open those things up until you're pushing like 13 or 1400 horsepower. Anyways, so those were a couple shops. Now, there's a local shop here called Boost Performance, and to be honest, I didn't want to go through them, you know, for my own reasons. And part of the reason was David actually wanted to use them. So I was like, well, I don't want to use the same shop. Let's do some comparability videos, kind of comparing shops. So I emailed all these companies. I think at the time I had maybe 10,000 subscribers. I said, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. I'm looking for a company to meet my goals. I listed my goals, and I'm looking for a company that I would love to link up with, you know. Now, everybody turned me down. Everybody. They said, no, we don't do that. We're not looking for that. I said, okay, no big deal. And then Livernois actually hit me up, and the owner of the shop, Dan, actually wanted to talk to me. So I ended up talking to Dan, and I talked to Andy, and they made me feel, when I talked to them, they made me feel very comfortable with what I wanted to do with my car. And that's, you know, when I bought the Charger, it was $70,000. It's my first car that I'm actually going to be doing some motor work, or not motor work, you know, some upgrades power-wise, some real upgrades, not a cold air intake, not fucking headers and an exhaust, like actual mods to the engine. So I was a little nervous. You know, it's an expensive car, and if you fuck something up, you know, I wasn't necessarily in the position to replace something, you know what I mean? So I hooked up with them, and I said, all right, we're going to drive up there. Once I made my decision I was going to go through Livernois, I said, all right, I'm going to drive up there. Me and Rachel will drive up there. We'll have a little meetup at your shop. Because in my eyes, I'm thinking it's just a shop. It's like a shop, like a normal, like, shop. And to call their facility a shop would be, in my opinion, unfair to what they do over there. It is not a shop. It is, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a fucking warehouse filled with fantastic, awesome stuff. So we drove up there. It was like 22 hours or 23 hours. We were dead tired. And I remember getting there, and I think maybe 10 of you guys or 12 of you guys came out, which was fucking, I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, holy shit. There's people who watch my channel who actually want to meet up with me. How cool is that? So I think there was like 12 of you guys, which I don't know if all 12 of you still watch this channel, but I hope you guys do. It was awesome meeting you. And they took me around the facility, and like when I pulled in the parking lot, I'm like, okay, it says Livernois, but it's like this whole complex. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. They walk me in, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, and this is just the front room. This is just like where you go in to go pay for stuff. And then they take me into the actual shop, and I'm just like, they got Cobra Jets, Hellcats, Raptors. Every car you can think of that has high horsepower is in that fucking shop. There were some vets, some nasty vets. There were some Cobra Jets they were working on with Ford that I couldn't even video because they were doing secret stuff for Ford. Holy shit, they had vets and Camaros and Hellcats, and they deal with everything. And then I went and saw their actual test car, which is a Challenger, which is usually on their channel. You guys can look it up on Livernois, the YouTube channel. And that's the car that I saw. I was like, shit, it's got 15-inch wheels. Like, this is dope as fuck. They're like, yeah, it's like a daily drive. We drive the shit out of it. So, daily driver, how cool is that, right? You've got, you know, however much horsepower it's making, and it's a daily driver. So, anyways, I leave it there. They show me the shop. I'm like, God, this is crazy. They do all this shit in-house. They build the catch cams, the fucking intakes. They build everything in-house. It's mind-blowing. They've got millions of dollars worth of CNC equipment. I mean, they've got rooms full of engines. Just, if you haven't been to Livernois Motorsports, you guys gotta go. It's mind-blowing. It is the craziest thing, like the craziest shop I've ever been to. And it's not, I can't call it a shop. But it's unbelievable. It's crazy. And I thought it was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. So, anyways, I get the car back, and so one thing they didn't realize was how, you know, we're at elevation, which a lot of people don't think Amarillo is at elevation. We're 3,500 feet here, and that's why when you run a 9 here in Amarillo, it's a big fucking deal, no matter what car you're in. So I get the car back, and we're having a little bit of fuel issues with the booster pump. So, working with them, I end up just taking the fucking booster pump off. And, you know, taking the track, we go and dyno it, and, you know, it made 830 something wheel horsepower up at Livernois. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna dyno it here. It should be making just about the same. Cool. Really excited about it. And I get it here, and the dyno is like 807 or 810. You guys will have to go back on the old videos. And I was kind of upset, and I emailed him, and I'm like, look, you know, 800 wheel horsepower in Amarillo is not gonna give you a 9. It's not. And I was kind of upset about it. So, you know what they did? They flew down to Amarillo. Actually, excuse me. They flew to Dallas, because I didn't even think they knew we had an airport here. Drove from Dallas to Amarillo. That's 6 hours. Came, worked on my car, retuned it, put a smaller pulley. So I was at a 285. I was at a 295. They put a 285 on it. And I made 840 wheel horsepower. Who does that? What shop? Are you kidding me? Any other shop would have been like, well, that's what your car made. If you want to make more power, you're going to have to give us more money. They didn't charge me for more for a pulley, for tuning. The flights had to have been like $600 to $800 because they came down that week. I mean, it was the craziest thing. So we did a cool little edit for them, and part of, like, in my intro video where my car's getting dynoed, that's actually the day that they came down. I met the owner. God, he's so fucking cool. He was just telling me stories and stuff, and, you know, I don't know. It's been great. Then I said, I want to make more power. Of course, right? I want to make more power. So, and actually what happened was my stock fuel pump started going out, which is normal if you're starting to push the power. That's just kind of what happens. When you're running E85, you can only push pump gas so much on the stock fuel pumps. So I ended up doing a dual fuel pump, which the only part that's not installed by Livernois or myself and David is the fuel pump. And I let Boost Performance do it here in Amarillo. They did a good job. So I put that in, and that seemed to solve all the issues. So then we ended up putting a 275 pulley, and that was the setup I ran for a long time. So I got rid of the 1050cc injectors. I put the 1300cc injectors on. And that, you know, I was making, you know, I don't know how much horsepower, maybe 860 probably to the wheels. I'm not really sure. I haven't dynoed my car since the original dyno of 840. So, and that's what I ran. And the fastest time in that car here in Amarillo was a 10.0 on a terrible track. And David actually got the fastest time. I was at the Caffeine and Cars event getting everything set up, and David was doing an event which he almost won in my car. It would have been cool. He would have won $1,000. But got to the semis, and the track was really slippery, and he ran like a 10.9 on that last run. So he went from a 10.0 to the first run to a 10.9, and that tells you how bad the track prep was that day. I'm telling you, he would have ran a 9, like a 9.99 that day, and I would have been like, damn, that's fucking awesome. So after that day, I've been in contact with Livernois, and I said, look, man, I want to make more power. You guys are coming out of the cold air intake, which I've been running a stock airbox forever, so I wasn't going to put anything on my car unless Livernois told me to. So they said, no, stock airbox is fine. It's gets plenty of air to it. You don't need to have an intake. Then they decided to come out with their own intake and their own catch can. So I ended up putting those on. You guys saw the videos. And then, I was like, I really want to have a 265. I think if I have a 265 pulley, I'll meet the goals that I want in this car, or exceed them, I guess. And I'd be running the same setup as David in the Sneaky Cat. Now, obviously, David's car is lighter than mine, but it would be the same amount of power, roughly. Tune might be a little different, but roughly the same power. So did that, and put all the stuff on, and I went and ran the fastest time, 9.74. At 5,100 DA. Fucking wild. Now, we're going to go to Houston in a couple weeks, and I plan on breaking that record. I think the car is capable of breaking a 9.5. I really do. Depending on how good the DA is that day, if it's negative 1,000, like I'm hoping it's going to be, I think we've got a really, really good shot at doing that. And my car's full interior. I didn't take off the wiper blades or the door panels or the seats. It's totally full interior. Didn't take off the exhaust. Nothing. I didn't put a Kirky in. It's full interior, just like it was. Heated, cooled seats, all the good stuff. So my plan is, when I go to Houston, I'm going to do a couple runs full interior, see the fastest time I can get. Then we're going to rip all that shit off, put a Kirky in, and see what the fastest time I can get in, and see what the actual difference is, because it should be a couple hundred pounds, at least 200 pounds, maybe even a little more, that we'd be taking out of the car. So, we'll kind of see. But again, I want to recommend Livernois to anybody and everybody out there. Now, obviously, I have a Hellcat, and I would trust them with that, but they're really known in the Mustang and the GM community. They're kind of just getting into the Hellcat scene as of late, and I would totally recommend it. Those guys are awesome. Dan and Andy are fucking amazing dudes. They are, they treat me like family up there. And they're straight up with you, and they want your car to be reliable. And I think that's the biggest thing, is having a fast car is fucking awesome. Pushing the limits of your car is awesome. Blowing your transmission is not awesome. Blowing your engine is not awesome. They want to push your car to the limit, but leave just a little bit, so that way you can have longevity. You know what I mean? Anytime you fix up a car, your longevity goes out the window. But their main concern is having reliability and being fast at the same time. So I totally recommend them. I don't get paid by them. I don't get a discount code from them. I don't get anything. But I wanted to make this video for them because I don't think they get enough recognition in the community. So if you have a Hellcat, Trackhawk, whatever, go tune them. Call them up. Call Andy. Call Dan. Tell them I sent you. And you guys will not be disappointed. Anyways, I'm going to get my ass back to work. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you guys are following me at KellyBoyKev on Instagram and on Snapchat. My name is Kevin Van Voris. We have the fastest Hellcat on airbags in the world right now, baby. And I'm out this bitch.